Well, y'all, we are back, day 28. If this was February and not a leap year, we would be at the end of a month. But it ain't February yet. So we ain't at the end of the month. We got a few more to go. But it actually is the end of the month that I'm recording this. But not in the amount of days we got. We're only at 28. We're in this wonderful story about Ruth and Naomi. Yeah, so Naomi and Ruth. Well, we hear where Ruth came to her mother-in-law. Naomi asked, or when Ruth came to her mother-in-law, Naomi asked, "How did it go, my daughter?" Then she told her everything Boaz had done for her and added, "He gave me these 6 measures of barley, saying, 'Don't go back to your mother-in-law empty-handed.'" Then Naomi said, "Wait, my daughter, until you find out what happens, for the man will not rest until the matter is settled today." Meanwhile, Boaz went up to the town gate and sat down there just as the guardian redeemer he had mentioned came along. Boaz said, "Come over here, my friend, and sit down." So he went over and sat down. Boaz took 10 of the elders of the town and said, "Sit here." And they did so. Then he said to the guardian redeemer, "Naomi, who has come back from Moab, is selling the piece of land that belonged to her relative Elimelech. There, we're stuck again. I thought I should bring the matter to your attention and suggest that you buy it in the presence of these seated here and in the presence of the elders of my people. If you will redeem it, do so. But if you will not, tell me, so I will know. For no one has the right to do it except you, and I am the next in line." Giving him the chance. "I will redeem it," he said. Then Boaz said, "On the day you buy the land from Naomi, you also acquire Ruth the Moabite, a dead man's widow, in order to maintain the name of the dead with his property." At this the guardian redeemer said, "Then I cannot redeem it, because I might endanger my own estate. You redeem it yourself. I cannot do it." Now, in earlier times in Israel, for the redemption and transfer of property to become final, one party took off his sandal and gave it to the other. This was the method of legalizing transactions in Israel. I'm going to take off my sandal. It must not have too bad of feet, I'm telling you. So the guardian redeemer said to Boaz, "Buy it yourself," and he removed his sandal. Then Boaz announced to the elders and all the people, "Today you are witnesses that I have bought from Naomi all the property of Elimelech, Kilion, and Mahalon. I have also acquired Ruth the Moabite, Mahalon's widow, as my wife, in order to maintain the name of the dead with his property, so that his name will not disappear from among his family or from his hometown. Today you are witnesses." Then the elders and all the people at the gate said, "We are witnesses. May the Lord make the woman who is come into your home like Rachel and Leah, who together built up the family of Israel. May you have standing in Ephrathah, and be famous in Bethlehem." Be famous. "Through the offspring the Lord gives you by this young woman, may your family be like that of Perez, whom Tamar bore to Judah." So Boaz took Ruth, and she became his wife. When he made love to her, the Lord enabled her to conceive, and she gave birth to a son. The woman said to Naomi, "Praise be the Lord, who this day has not left you without a guardian redeemer. May he become famous throughout Israel. He will renew your life and sustain you in your old age. For your daughter-in-law, who loves you and who is better to you than 7 sons, has given him birth. Then Naomi took the child in her arms and cared for him. And the women living there said, Naomi has a son. And they named him Obed. He was the father of Jesse, and the father of David. How about that? Within Ruth's story, we catch a glimpse of an amazing tale yet to come. The life of her great-grandson David, the renowned shepherd king. But much will take place before David's golden reign. A godly priest and a prophet of Israel will first become an important player in this drama. Samuel was himself a child miraculously born out of a struggle and promise. After being recognized by the people as the Lord's prophet, Samuel's first order of business was to call the people back to God and subdue the Philistines. Then he had the inevitable task of finding the nation a king. It seemed that nothing happened easily for God's people, but all that happened was part of God's faithful plan. Y'all, we are only at 6 minutes and we are now to chapter 10. Standing tall and falling hard. I can only imagine this is a story of someone that stands very tall and fell very hard. I'm guessing Goliath. Let's see what it says down here. Samuel born. Samuel ministers under Eli. The Israelites ask for a king. Saul's reign. We'll see. Standing tall and falling hard. I guess it could be Saul. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Could have been both. Who knows? We'll see what's in there. So, we're going to get started on this one. There was a certain man from Ramathaim, a Zephite, from the hill country of Ephraim, whose name was Elkanah, son of Joraham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tahu, the son of Zuph, an Ephraimite. He had 2 wives. One was called Hannah, and the other Peninnah. Peninnah had children, but Hannah had none. Year after year, this man went up from his town to worship and sacrifice to the Lord, or to the Lord Almighty in Shiloh, where Hophni and Phinehas, the 2 sons of Eli, were priests of the Lord. Whenever the day came for Elkanah to sacrifice, he would give portions of the meat to his wife Phinehas and to all her sons and daughters. But to Hannah he gave double portion, because he loved her, and the Lord had closed her womb. Because the Lord had closed Hannah's womb, her rival kept provoking her in order to irritate her. This went on year after year. Whenever Hannah went up to the house of the Lord, her rival provoked her till she wept and would not eat. Her husband Elkanah would say to her, Hannah, why are you weeping? Why don't you eat? Why are you downhearted? Don't I mean more to you than 10 sons? That never seems good when they have more than one wife. I'm just going to let you know. They always have like a favorite. And something is never right with the favorite. Like the favorite seems to always have struggles. I don't know why. Once when they had finished eating and drinking in Shiloh, Hannah stood up. Now Eli the priest was sitting in his chair by the doorpost of the Lord's house. In her deep anguish Hannah prayed to the Lord, weeping bitterly. And she made a vow, saying, Lord Almighty, if you will only look on your servant's misery, and remember me, and not forget your servant, but give her a son, then I will give him to the Lord for all the days of his life, and no razor will ever be used on his head. As she kept on praying to the Lord, Eli observed her mouth. Hannah was praying in her heart, and her lips were moving, but her voice was not heard. Eli thought she was drunk, and said to her, How long are you going to stay drunk? Put away your wine. Not so, my lord, Hannah replied. I am a woman who is deeply troubled. I have not been drinking wine or beer. I was pouring out my soul to the Lord. Do not take your servant for a wicked woman. I have been praying here out of my great anguish and grief. Eli answered, Go in peace, and may God, the God of Israel, grant you what you have asked of him. She said, May your servant find favor in your eyes. Then she went her way and ate something, and her face was no longer downcast. Early the next morning they arose and worshipped before the Lord, and then went back to their house in Ramah. Elkanah made love to his wife Hannah. And the Lord remembered her. So in the course of time, Hannah became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She named him Samuel, saying, Because I asked the Lord for him. When her husband Elkanah went up with his family to offer the annual sacrifice to the Lord and to fulfill his vow, Hannah did not go. She said to her husband, After the boy is weaned, I will take him and present him before the Lord, and he will live there always. Do what seems best to you. Her husband Elkanah told her. I hate big words and big names. I really do. Yeah. Stay here until you have weaned him. Only may the Lord make good his word. And the bad part about these big names is someone will say them and someone else will say them different, and I don't know which is which. So the woman stayed at home and nursed her son until she had weaned him. Or at the top of page 131. We're going to go ahead and finish there for day 28 at 13 minutes, y'all, because I was just going to say, they're big words. They seem to say them different in different ways in different places. And the crazy thing about all these big words that we see them using these big words. And in one version it says something, in another version it says something else. And then they're constantly changing people's names and whatnot. You know what I mean? And I see that happening. And I think, is that really the heart of the message? I mean, I realize it's important. The lineage is in there for a reason. But is it really the heart of the message? And so I've been studying not this thing, but some other Bibles. I study 3 at one time, a King James, an NASB, and an NIV. And I read the King James first, and then the NASB, and then the NIV. And I find by looking at all 3 of them, I see a lot of more differences in words. They say things differently. Even like type of woods, they use things different. Even like towns, they say different. And even like people, they use different names in some of the versions. But one of the things that you notice is that when you're reading all 3 of them back to back to back like that, you stop paying attention to all that because you realize it is different. And you start looking at the heart of that message and what are they really trying to get at here? Like, I mean, when someone's fully all in on God, God's pouring out blessing. Well, so many of these stories are people that are full in on God and God is pouring out blessing. And when they turn from God, they ain't getting that blessing. I mean, there's an important part to these stories we got to pay attention to. But I tell you what, I don't think it's the name of things. just so much else there. But anyway, I'm going to go. Y'all have a wonderful day. It is snowy again today. My son and I got to go out. My grandson and my granddaughter hanging out with me too a little bit. But we got to go out and go drive around in the snow. All the fun. It was amazing. It was kind of a little bit slick, and I don't like to hand over the wheel when it's slick, but it's my son, so I mean, he's decent driving, I guess. I trust him. I love him, so I guess, But I love y'all too, and I just pray that y'all have a wonderful day, that y'all be blessed, and that when you tune in next time, you have subscribed and given that thumbs up like, and maybe shared or left a comment about something you liked or did not like. Love y'all. Bye.